This one's about those times in life where you have a place you'd like to get to, but you're not quite sure how you're gonna get there. Often in life, we have to make very big decisions with very little information to go off of. We don't really know the effects that these decisions will have going into them, but we have to make them anyway. In those cases, I'm reminded of the Robert Frost poem, The Road Not Taken, which ends with the lines, "Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference." Which isn't always good advice to live by, so instead I'll also add Hebrews 11, which states, "No, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." Imagine, for instance, that you want to drive to your friend's house and you want to take the shortest route to get there to save time. You go in your car and are on your merry way, only to find that there's a traffic jam. We do things like this all the time without even taking note of them. We have the illusion of control in the moment, but it's an illusion because we're never 100% sure of what lies ahead. The lack of information envelops you like a fog, and you're right in the thick of it. So in those moments, you walk by faith and not by sight. It's like that old game, The Unfinished Swan, where the environment around you is blanketed in a sheet of white, and you launch paint in various directions to reveal the hidden shape of each level. With situations in life, you plan and prep as much as is reasonable, but at the end of it all, you still have to move to actually get anything done. One of my all-time favorite illustrations of this concept comes from The Mad World of Lewis Carroll's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I read that book ages ago, but I keep revisiting parts of it in my mind because although it's supposed to be nonsense writing, I find some of the themes very relatable, and the lessons are valid because they have helped me in real-life situations, so I guess it's fine. Alright, back to the book. There's a point in the story where our protagonist Alice has just left an unpleasant run-in with the Duchess's child and is looking around wondering where she should go next. She comes upon a fork in the road on her path and asks the Cheshire Cat which way she should go. He then replies, saying that it depends on where she wants to get to. "I don't care much where," said Alice. "Then it doesn't matter which way you go," said the cat. "So long as I get somewhere," said Alice as an explanation. "Oh, you're sure to do that," said the cat, "if only you walk long enough." To the right lives the Hatter, and to the left lives the Marchier. They're both mad, so, unsure of which one she'd prefer to meet, Alice eventually sets off to the left and fusses with herself about which direction was right to take. After a while, she comes upon a tea party hosted by, you guessed it, both the Hatter and the Hare. So regardless of if she went left or right, she would have ended up at the party anyway. Alice, not knowing that the road was a circle, is like the unknowns we have when approaching situations in our lives. You want to leave your job to pursue something else, but you're afraid of losing that security. You want to move to a new place for a new chapter in your life, but you're scared of how big of a change that will be. You can spend years deliberating the most optimal strategy for approaching these paradigm shifts. Meanwhile, opportunities pass you left and right. Or you can break down loosely where you want to end up, what you need to do, and give yourself a bit of a security cushion if you desire, and then, and this part is key, you just do the thing. If you trip along the way, you can dust yourself off and learn how to avoid the pitfalls as you continue walking. It's easy to procrastinate in the name of over-intellectualizing something. We call it risk management, but on average, we're very bad at intuiting risk as humans. So let's call it what it is, procrastinating. Think of starting a business, for instance. Most successful entrepreneurs you know probably didn't take a 2-year night class on how to run a business before they started theirs. They just had an idea and started doing what they could and learned what they had to as they went on. I currently work as a freelance photographer. If I had kept putting off taking jobs until I was properly prepared to start this business, meaning that I had all the gear that I thought I needed, had a website, taken a business course and all that stuff, I wouldn't have gotten half the opportunities that ended up paying for those things in the first place. And once I started, it was downright miraculous how readily some opportunities presented themselves. At the time when I was starting, I had just enough money to buy a camera body, but that choice meant risking not having enough money to pay my bills at the end of the month. Nonetheless, I took the leap and got the camera. And then I got a really old kit lens that someone was throwing away and decided to clean it up and used that for my first set of jobs. As soon as I made the purchase, I got an inquiry from someone who didn't even know I was doing freelance photography. And then that job was just enough money to pay my bills for that month. And then the subsequent jobs paid for a proper lens, and then that lens helped make my work easier, and so I could take on more jobs, and then I used that money to buy lights, and then the new jobs put me in contact with business owners who advised me on market, and so on, and so on, and so on. None of that would have happened if I didn't take the leap when I did it. And I'm in a much better place now than I was at my old job, and I wouldn't trade the experiences I've had for anything. And it was all because I took that leap. It's easy for some people to profess to having faith, but if you ask them to act on that purported faith, you see how quickly they start coming up with reasons why they shouldn't. They seem to forget that faith without works is dead, meaning you can have all the faith you want, but you need to put your actions behind it in order for it to do something. So let this be your reminder for the next time you're at a crossroads in life. You can wait and try to figure out which route is best while the road changes beneath you. Or you can do like the Cheshire Cat tells Alice and figure out where you'd like to end up, and then just start walking, because that's what makes all the difference. Safe travels, and thanks for watching.